So let's recall what we have gone through yesterday and what we are going to have from today. From yesterday, we have started the new chapter that was data and file handling in Python. During the introduction, we have gone through that we need file handling just to save our output permanently. This is the single reason for which we are learning file handling or data handling in Python. So basically, we are going to create file, save file, manipulate on the file through Python. And we are going to save our all the outputs using the code of Python. There are the basic operations on file handling would be we can create a file, we can open the file, we have to read the content from the file, we can write the data in the file, and finally we have to close it. These are the main 5 operations on which we have to work. In detail, if I will discuss all these 5 points in detail. So basically, according to the programming language, according to the programming jargon, we are creating a file, we are traversing a file. This part is important for your board examination because most of the question will be asked regarding the traversing of the file. That means how you can see a particular record or data from a file, how you can append the data inside the file, how you can insert the data in a file. I have already informed you yesterday also that the difference between appending and inserting is that inserting means insert the data inside a vacant file, and appending means append the data in an existing file. So if I am having an existing file in which we are having few lines already written, when I am going to append it, that means from the end of line. I have already informed yesterday also, E of end of line. From the end of line, new record can be added, and this process will be known as appending. But when we are going to use inserting, that means we are having one vacant file and then we are inserting the record. If already we are having one file in which some data are available till this point, and again we would like to insert the data, that means first the compiler will erase all the previous data. It make your file totally vacant and then it will insert the new record. So I was discussing that through the append data, we can insert a record at the end of an existing file, and through the inserting the data, that means we are having one vacant file and then we can insert the data. After that, we can also delete the data from the file, we can create a copy of the file, and lastly, we can also create the we can also update the file. That means we can change the file, whatever the changes we would like to configure inside a file, we can configure it. After that, we can save it also, and the saving of changes is known as updating the data in the file. One by one, we are going to learn how this can be happen through the file processing, through the data handling in Python. There are 2 types of files. First one is binary file and the second one is text file. Text file was totally a file which is user friendly, which we can understand easily. That what we used to write. Text means word. So any file which is having one word, few words, few lines, that we can understand, that type of file is known as text file, and that word is written in a specific code. That code is known as ASCII code or Unicode. There are 2 patterns in which computer accept the code. First is ASCII and second one is Unicode. So we can write everything on the computer using our uh, QWERTY keyboard or using our alphabet, which we can also understand, and that part is known as text file. So this is user editable, user understandable file. We can create this type of file, we can access this type of file using Python. As I have already told you, you are going to have EOL, that is end of line, so many times. So end of line is the end of the file. If you have created one file with multiple lines, the point where your file is ending will be known as end of file, and the point where one line is ending is known as end of line. The point where the entire file is going to be completed will be known as end of file, and the point where one line will be ended will be known as end of line. The next file is binary file. Binary file is a special file which is not readable easily by a simple user. So whatever the data written inside the binary file can only be understood, can only be visible, readable by the Python compiler. So we will create the binary file, we will read the content from the binary file, we will write in the content in the binary file, but only through the coding. That means after the coding, if you would like to open a file, open that file, then the content that we can expect inside the binary file will not be visible, will not be meaningful for us. It would be meaningful only for our computer. But when we are creating a text file, whatever the content we are going to write inside the file, that will be that will have some meaning, and that will be readable for us. So that is the main difference between binary and text file. That means binary file is much more having much more secure as compared to the text file. Opening and closing of files. How we can open the file, how we can close the file. There are a few modes that you need to learn, using which we can open our file. To handle data files in Python, we need to have a file object. First thing, before I start the coding of file handling, we have to understand that 90% of the things has been created by Python. Just we need to access them. All the functions are available inside Python. Just we need to use them, and we need to have the awareness that this function will be used for a particular reason. For example, you can see here, object can be created by using open function or file function. So whenever we need to create or open a file, we have to use an inbuilt function, and the name of the function is open function. So through open function, we can open a file. The way to open a file is, the syntax to open a file is written at the bottom of this slide. You can see here, file object is equals to open, then the name of the file, then the access mode and the buffering. Don't get afraid if you are finding any new word. This is not a complicated part. Since it is a syntax, so it may be possible that you are getting some confusion why it is written and how it is written. But in the coming slide, I will make you clear that what is basically written here, what is the meaning of file object, what is the meaning of file name, and what is the meaning of access mode, and what is buffering. One by one, we are moving to each and every point. Now, as I have told you, first I will start with open. So open is inbuilt function which was having 3 parameters. Just we can see we have seen in the previous slide that open was the function. You can see here open was the function which was having three parameters. The first parameter was file name, the second parameter was access mode, and the third parameter was buffering. So the first parameter is the file name. This is the file name which has been stored in our secondary storage media, that is in our hard disk or our pen drive, wherever it can be stored. We need to name the file which we would like to open. First, I will put the name of the file. Then second parameter is the access mode. Access mode means I would like to open the file for reading the content. This is a one type of access mode. Or I would like to open the file for writing some content inside the file. This is the second access mode. Or I would like to open the file to append the data at the end of the file. This is the third mode, third access mode, using which we can open a file. So before opening a file, we need to specify the compiler that for what reason I would like to open the file. Whether I would like to read the content or I would like to write the content or whatever we would like to access, we have to provide the access mode. There are few inbuilt access mode. You just need to get one by one through the slides. The third parameter is the buffering. Buffering means how many characters, if I'm opening the file in read mode, for example, I will mention how many characters I would like to read at once, in one go. For example, I would like to read only first 10 characters. So in the buffering part, I will write 10 so that the first 10 characters can be accessed from the file. Next, at the next step, the next 10 character can be read. So this way we can provide the parameters for buffering. So altogether we are having three parameters. First one is the name of the file. Second one is the access mode, which is these two are most important, the name of the file and the access mode. And buffering is basically for the reading mode, in which we have to mention that how many characters we would like to read from the file.
सर एक्सेस मोड एक और बार.
हाँ, access mode is the mode in which we have to instruct the compiler that yes, I would like to open this file, but what I am going to do with this file, whether I am going to read the content or whether I am going to write the content, whatever the way we would like to access the file, we have to mention here. And there are some inbuilt access mode. Just wait for one or two slides, you will get the details about access mode. Then it will make you much more clear. Whenever we are opening a file, first it goes to buffer. Once the buffer is full, data is written to file. This is the working of a file. Just in these 3 or 4 lines, you need to understand how file handling is done. While writing the content in the file, first it goes to the buffer. When I would like to write something, first it goes to the buffer. Then once the buffer is full, let the size of the buffer is 10 character. So once the 10 character has been completed by the user, data is written to the file. Then only the data is sent to the file. That means first it is working on the buffer. What is buffer actually? Buffer is nothing. It is our RAM. So we can instruct the compiler that only 10 characters can be accessed on RAM. So when I am writing to the buffer, I am instructing the compiler through the third parameter of the open function that only 10 characters can be accessed in the buffer. That means on the RAM. After the 10 characters, if the user is giving the 11th character, then the first 10 character will be sent to the file. That means it will remove from RAM and it will go to your secondary storage device. Also, when file is closed, any unsaved data is transferred to any unsaved data is transferred to the file. That means if I have written lastly only 5 characters and I am going to close the file, so automatically these 5 characters which was supposed to be there inside the RAM, all these 5 characters will send to the file automatically. We are knowing that whatever the content of the buffer, if the content of the buffer is full, automatically compiler will send the entire content to the file. But if it is not full and we are going to close the file, how to close the file? Just after a few moments I will inform you. When we are going to close the file, automatically whatever the content written on the buffer, it will be transferred directly to the file. Flush function is used to force transfer to data from buffer to file. Sometimes when we are not able to get the updated data from the buffer to file, then we can force the compiler using the flush function. Right now, just note down each and every term. One by one, each and every point will be clear to you when I will show it through the practical approaches. As I have informed you, file access mode. Now it will be clear to you what is really the file access mode and how does it work. Example, if I am writing R in the place of file access mode, that R is the representation of a text file that will be opened in read mode. R will be the representation of a text file that will be opened in read mode. If I will write RB, that means I am instructing the compiler that the file which I would like to open is a binary file and it will open in read mode. So B is the representation of binary file. If we are not using any character that like B, that means it is a text file. If I am writing B, that means binary file. If I am not writing B, that means it is a text file. So these are the default mode. That means automatically if we are not giving anything, the file will be open in these two category. If the file is a text file, it will be open in the read mode. If the file is a binary file, again it will open in the read mode. Before discussing all these modes, I would like to show you how we can write the code. This is the look at the example. I have written here f is equals to open lvs.txt comma r. Here f is the file object, just the name of the variable, nothing. Don't get bothered with the what is the file object and why it is known as object. This is just a representation of a variable which is representing one file, and the name of the file is lvs.txt. When I am writing here r, that means I am instructing the compiler that lvs.txt is basically a text file. Please open lvs.txt file in read mode. And since it is written here R, that means I am instructing the compiler that lvs.txt is a text file and please open the file in read mode only. If I am going to write here RB, that means I am instructing the compiler that this file is a binary file, and I would like to request the compiler to kindly open the file in read mode, and this file is basically a B, that means binary file. So this way we are going to utilize our file. Now after this line, this lvs.txt will be represented by one variable, one file object, and the name of the object is f. This is the line using which we are going to open a file. Now let's go back. So this was the first default file access mode. That means if we are not giving any mode, we will have R and RB. If the file is a text file, we will have the R mode, that is a read mode. If it is a binary file, we are going to have a binary file in the read mode. That means by default it will be the RB mode. Now this is the default access mode. What are the other mode that you can use? If I am going to write R plus means the file will be available to the user in both the mode. That means read as well as write. I can read and I can write. So this mode will be applicable especially when we would like to see the record from the file, and we would like to write the simultaneously we would like to write the record inside the file. Same way RB plus is working same as R plus. Only the difference is that here B is written to represent the binary file. W is written here for the write mode. WB is same way for write, and the write mode for the binary file. W plus same as R plus, text file in read and write mode. W plus will work same as text file in read and write mode. Same way WB plus, it is for binary mode. There are other few modes. A is for append mode, A plus is for appending and reading, and so on. You don't need to mug up. Okay. At this moment, just I am introducing the characters that can be used for file access mode. I think for today, it is so much for you. From next day, I will jump to the actual programming pattern, so it will make you much easier to know how really the file can be accessed in Python.